So confession here, my high school guidance counselor told me I was not smart enough for college. 3 years in, when I rang up that 1.491 grade point average, she seemed to be absolutely right. By the time I moved to Washington, D.C. to become a political reporter, one sports coat, my shoes had like a little tear. Here I am hanging around these sophisticated Ivy Leaguers. Am I smart enough? Am I sophisticated? That used to kind of haunt me. Turns out that insecurity was one of my greatest superpowers. I'm Jim VandeHei. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Axios. I want to share some hard-earned lessons on life and leadership so that you can avoid the mistakes that I made. Everybody's insecure unless you're a narcissistic freak. Nobody has their shit together the way that you think they do. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has limitations. Everybody has weaknesses. Yes, some people are better at disguising it, but the most important thing is be better at overcoming it. Take those insecurities and attack them. Take those insecurities and turn them from weakness into strength. And it's very doable. I worried I'd be in conversation and I would literally hear words I didn't know the definition to. I still remember lachrymose. I don't know why it came up in conversation or what kind of dope would use it, but I didn't know what it meant. So I started writing down every single word I heard that I didn't know. And at night, I would figure out what do those words mean. And then if I thought there was appropriate, I'd integrate it into my vocabulary. The truth is, most high achievers feel this way. Insecurity is a feature. It's not a bug. Even Michael Jordan did this. Okay. I'm not comparing myself to Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan sort of famously would create almost enemies in his head, people who are doubting him, to fuel him to train a little bit harder, to play a little bit better. And if I'm being honest, I think I still do that in media circles. Like, I'm known for talking a lot of smack or being really blunt in public. Part of that is, I think, subconsciously, I want to put myself out there. I want there to be critics. I want to have that fuel to try to prove people wrong. And like, if I can balance it right, that sounds a little psycho, but I actually think it's pretty healthy. I actually wrote about this topic several years ago, just intuitively sensing the power of insecurity. Since then, there's been several scientific studies that back it up. One study by MIT Sloan found that people who had imposter thoughts put 13% more effort than their peers who did not. Another one, a much bigger one, a meta-analysis of 30 different studies, it was published last year, found that 62% of high achievers experience feelings of imposter syndrome. And in both cases, it just shows that it can fuel production. It can fuel you being better at what you want to be good at. So how do you actually apply insecurity as opposed to becoming a prisoner to it? The first thing you can is just be honest with yourself. Like, most of our insecurities are rooted in truth. Just confront that truth. Do a self-appraisal. What are you insecure about? And why are you insecure about it? Just that acknowledgement is a game changer. Most people don't think about why they do the things that they do. If you do, then you can start to attack the things and fix them. Let me give you a good real-time example in my own life. AI, which I'm super obsessed about now. AI is coming fast and furious. It's clearly a year of AI application. The technology, despite some of the conventional wisdom, is actually getting much better than we even thought 2 months ago. But in the beginning, when ChatGPT came out, even though I run a media company and we have a technology department, I've always considered myself a technological dope. I've never really known who or what to trust from my technology team because I'm not a coder. I'm not technologically sophisticated. But I'm aware of that. And just me being aware of it and then me being enthusiastic about attacking that has allowed me to not necessarily master AI, but be pretty damn proficient in it. The second thing you can do, and I'd argue the most important, is just attack that weakness. So you've admitted that your insecurity is rooted in some truth. Okay, then you could sit there and whine about it, or you could do something about it. If back then I was feeling insecure about my vocabulary or about my reading, well, then write down those words and read those books so that I don't have to feel that way. If today I'm insecure about AI, well, do the hard work. I'll watch videos. I'll follow people on X. I'll experiment. I'll be persistent. You can do that with any insecurity that you have. I'll give you another good example, like on the health side. I vividly remember driving out to Washington, D.C. in my blue diesel VW Rabbit. And I remember hitting a bump and my belly jiggling. And I was a big beer drinker back then, and I basically lived on hamburgers and pizza. And it literally at that moment said, you know what? I don't want to just be like a thin dude with a big beer belly like you see throughout Wisconsin. And so I use that as a motivator to become really healthy, very health conscious, to work out little by little. So I took an insecurity, use that as a motivator to turn it into, I think, a strength, because I'm kind of healthy now, even though I'm older. The third thing you can do, and this may be like advanced insecurity leverage, it's to weaponize that fury. I talked about Michael Jordan trying to create critics or create slights in his head so that he could push himself a little bit further. I think we can do that with our insecurities, like continue to take that and use it as fuel, not fuel that you become full of rage or hate, but fuel that you don't become complacent. Complacent is the thing that kills most of us in most circumstances. But if you have that energy and that sort of tamed rage, you can do pretty cool things. If someone doubts you, use it. If you doubt yourself, use it. A chip on your shoulder keeps you sharp. The people who fall behind are the people who get complacent, who get too comfortable, who stop pushing themselves. That chip on the shoulder that I carried to DC 30 years ago as a young reporter still sits there today as a CEO. And that's okay. Like, I'm comfortable with that. In fact, I often invite it to sit there because it's a motivator. I think it's helped get me to where I am today, and it'll keep me going where I want to go.